I am live. I think. Yeah, it says I'm live. How you guys doing? I have two images on the screen right now. I think my computer is trying to play catch up. So, what I'm doing, I have so many pages open and I'm actually waiting for a page to open.
Stage 2 RP1
There
load
we
is
go.
complete.
So we're listening to the Starlink mission audio control audio right now. And that's all. But soon we will have a Spacex webcast, I think. So let's look at this while we're waiting. This is what happens in the sky during one of these launches. And the one on your screen, I'm not sure exactly which one that is. It's either a Dragon capsule or one of these Starlink ones, or possibly a satellite for something else. So, which brings up a question or a topic that's interesting to me anyway. And hopefully it'll be interesting to more people as time goes on. We'll have to see. But what I have to do here is to try to make sure that I keep refreshing this page so that we can get to their webcast. So what they're doing tonight is they're launching another 60 Starlink satellites. Oh no, they're not up yet. I think they usually start about 15 minutes or so. It's supposed to launch in 18 minutes from now. So they should have a feed going pretty soon. So sorry to start this off kind of lame. But if you look at that image on your screen, does that make you comfortable about what's going on up there if you're a Christian? Because I'm learning that it's very important to realize that is war happening in heaven. I don't really see it any other way. Let me skip forward a little bit in this video. So there's a bunch of stuff happening up there, and then look at this. As we go a little bit further, all of a sudden you're going to see fire come down from heaven on the earth. That's significant. So I've been told many times when I talk about Revelation 13 or Daniel 7 and 8. Here, watch on your screen. Actually, let's get some audio. I don't know if we'll get it, but that's fire coming down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. But I guess we got no audio on it. So, let's get rid of that. And let's go refresh this page again. I just don't want to forget about the Spacex page and get that open. They still just have... Oh, no, that's not them. So we're still waiting. Still waiting on SpaceX to have a webcast. So right now, all we have is their control audio or whatever. So what I was going to say is I've had many people, probably thousands of people in the last 5 years, tell me that they don't agree with my interpretation. And I want to set the record straight. I don't have an interpretation. I've made an observation. It's a totally different thing. They say often, I don't agree with your personal interpretation. Meanwhile, there's a dragon flying in the firmament. And John said that he saw a dragon flying in the firmament. So what I'm doing is actually just making a simple observation and saying, hey, the thing that John described is happening now. And if people can't comprehend that, I just have to say it's not my problem, because I actually didn't come up with this story. I'm just watching it happen, and you can watch it happen too. And it reminds me of one thing that Jesus said. He said, "Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice." And the book of Revelation is the testimony of Jesus from heaven. It's so that we can know what is happening. And I've just found that there's a whole world full of Christians who have no idea what's happening. They have no idea what sin is. Lawlessness. They don't even know what that is. And I'm not saying that to nothing about me. I'm saying that I've learned that everybody's thinking about their own lives down on the ground here. And that's not, okay, like the New World Order and they're going to do this and they're going to do that and they do this and they do that. If you're going to be saying they, I think you need to examine who they are. Because, let me see here, I'm trying to get a different page open here. Still waiting on Spacex. I just refreshed that page. But it's troubling to me, but at the same time, I trust God. I don't know if the people that think I have an interpretation, if they're just deaf and they don't understand that I don't have an interpretation. Like I said, I'm making an observation. There was 4 angels holding back the 4 winds. Well, the 4 winds, God furnished the whole creation with the 4 winds. And they hold up the heaven, and they are the pillars of heaven. They're the foundations of the earth, the winds. And if you doubt what I'm saying, go to Enoch chapter 18. That's where I learned it. So these 4 winds are very important. Let me see if we got it yet. 12:06. They should start their webcast anytime, I think. Maybe they started about 10 minutes before they launch. I'm not sure. But, so the other thing, okay, finally we got, oops, that's not what I'm trying to do. Okay, we're just going to do this. I hope I can do this. Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys. Uh-oh. Not enough data. That's weird. Oh, wow. Okay, something happened. Sorry, something happened, and for a second there, it says I have a poor stream going right now. Whatever it is, I'm not sure, but the chat all just showed up all at once right now. So my live stream page is running way behind. Whatever, doesn't really matter. Let me see here. Oh yeah, trying something, taking my chances. Okay, let's watch this.
The STS is ready for launch.
Ignition. Liftoff.
Falcon 9 has cleared the tower.
10, 9, 8,
Side booster ignition.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning. It's Thursday, February 4th, and you're looking at a live view of Falcon 9 as it awaits its 1:19 a.m. Eastern Time launch from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, Florida. My name is Kate Tice, and I'm a Senior Certification Engineer here at SpaceX, joining you from our headquarters in Hawthorne, California. You're watching a live webcast for our 18th Starlink mission and our 4th launch of 2021. As many of you know, February is Black History Month here in the United States. Since 1976, the United States has designated the month of February as a time to recognize and...
Sorry, I can't waste 10 minutes of your time by listening to all this crappy info. Because I actually wanted to read you something. And my stream still says it's not running good or whatever. I hope you guys can hear me, and I really don't know if the chat... I see all the chat showed up at once, and now it says welcome to live chat, like it just started over. So I don't know what's happening. Hopefully you guys are hearing me. Maybe, see, I don't even know if it matters. Oh, I know what I could do. Let's see. I'm hitting share. I'm just trying some things I've never tried before. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to do. Open link in new tab. Okay, we'll see if this works. I'll probably hear an echo of my voice once it starts working, I think. And then I'll turn the sound off. Sorry, guys. I have to change some things with my computer. Oh, the volume's already off. Sweet. So now I'll be able to hopefully see the chat. Not quite yet, though. Oh, there we go. Alright, I see Judge Henry at the bottom there and Bill Stegman. Alright, thank you, guys. Awesome. Okay, thank you guys for coming, by the way. So, I'm going to read to you Psalm 20. And I have it open somewhere, so we're just going to... Oh, you know what I got to do, too? I gotta change the quality of the video. So I'm taking a chance on my chat. It looks like it's working on my watch page and we have an excellent connection. Okay, should be good. Sorry guys. I don't know why I have so much trouble. Because I have a pretty good internet signal. So I don't know. Whatever. Where did my... Oh. Okay, here's what the problem is. We need to get rid of this whole page. I had the audio mission still going. This is what I was looking for. Psalm 20. I hope you're seeing that. Let's read this chapter. This is a good chapter. We still got a few minutes. Okay. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The Lord hear thee in the day of trouble. And by the way, guys, before I read this, this applies to what we're going to watch tonight. So listen carefully, because it does apply to what we are going to watch tonight. Okay, the Lord hear thee in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob defend thee. Send thee help from the sanctuary, and strengthen thee out of Zion. Remember all thy offerings, and accept thy burnt sacrifice, Selah. Grant thee according to thine own heart, and fulfill all thy counsel. We will rejoice in thy salvation, and in the name of our God we will set up our banners. The Lord fulfill all thy petitions. Now know I that the Lord saveth his anointed. He saveth his anointed. He will hear him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots, and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. They are brought down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. Save, Lord, let the King hear us when we call. I like that chapter. So, yeah, some trust in chariots, guys, but we remember the name of the Lord our God. And I don't think that we're seeing what I thought we were seeing. Oh yeah, we are. Good. I think. You guys see Psalm 20, I'm guessing. I'm hoping. Okay. Let's just get rid of that whole page for now. Okay, yeah. So they got one of the... Whoops. What am I doing? Let me refresh this page just to make sure. Okay. I had a lot of things going in the background here when I started this. Sorry. Alright. About 5 minutes left.
Starlink is now delivering beta service both domestically and internationally, and the team will continue to push toward near global coverage of the populated world in 2021. During our beta program, users can expect to see data speeds vary from 50 megabits per second to 150 megabits per second, along with brief periods of no connectivity, and latency from 20 milliseconds to 40 milliseconds in most locations. As we launch more satellites, install more ground stations, and improve our networking software, data speed, latency, and uptime will all improve dramatically. Starlink is available to a limited number of users at this time, but if you're interested in finding out if Starlink is available in your neighborhood, head over to starlink.com. At this point, we are at T-minus 4 minutes and 30 seconds from liftoff, and Falcon 9 is now moving into the final stages of the countdown. We're currently waiting for the transporter erector, or that TE, to retract. That's the painted white structure there next to the vehicle. And once it retracts, it may have already, there we go. We heard the call out, and you can see the cradle arms there, and it's moving to its pre-launch position, which is about 2 degrees away from the rocket. At liftoff, hydraulics will move that TE to a position of 45 degrees from the rocket. If you listen closely, you might be able to hear the hiss and pop of pressure venting from the vehicle and the plumbing in the transporter erector, and that's all completely normal. At this point in time, the first and second stages are both nearly fully.
All right, we got 3 minutes. On the left, top left-hand corner of your screen is some 1996 footage from space of something NASA. It's from the shuttle that they took that footage, and there's all those weird little things swimming around up there. I think that those are the spirits of the dead. I'm not saying I know that. That's just what I think. And yes, this is blasphemy, guys. Blaspheming God's tabernacle, because he lives in heaven, which is the sky. I mean, it's very important. So important. I don't know why. I really don't know why I see this to be such a. Well, I know why, because this is going to destroy the world. That's why. Literally, not this launch, but these launches. Sending these rockets up into the four winds, which bear the earth and the firmament of heaven. And it's all going to fall. It's going to be dark everywhere. You know, like space, you know, that darkness? That's going to come into our world. I'll get rid of these. So we got 2 minutes left. I'm just going to look for an image here, or an animated image. You guys have heard of Nimrod and the Tower of Babel, right? That's what this is, guys. Same guy. It's Apollo. They were trying to get the same place. And this time, they will succeed. It's written in the Bible. Actually, that's something else I wanted to mention. We got 1 minute left till I turn their audio back on. Someone in the comments said they said this today. They want to get through the firmament, but they can't. Where do you read that they can't? Because they can, and they do. In the Bible. It's written in the Bible that they do. They tread New Jerusalem underfoot. And it's actually, what is it? Well, it's men doing it, but what is actually doing it? It's the spirits of the kings of the Medes. It's fallen angels. So that it's not something to interpret. It's actually something to observe, and you're observing it with me right now. And we got 33 seconds till it takes off or whatever. So I'll turn their audio on and shut up till it's about a little ways in the sky. And you're going to watch it break in pieces and stamp the residue with the feet of it. This is what Daniel saw. You'll see that. Here we go.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. And liftoff.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Stage 1 chamber pressure is nominal.
There we see Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, carrying our stack of Starlink satellites into orbit. There we just heard that power and telemetry are all nominal. We're going to throttle the engines down in preparation for max Q. And this is the largest structural load that the vehicle will see during ascent, so slowing the vehicle down a little helps during that short period. Max Q coming up here in just a couple of seconds.
Max Q.
There we heard the call out for max Q. Now, in about a minute, the next three events will be happening back to back. First, we have main engine cutoff, or MECO, and that's where all 9 of the M1D engines that are currently firing will shut down. And this will help slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation, which is event number 2.
Stage 1 is following a nominal trajectory.
And as the name suggests, stage sep is where the first and second stages will separate from each other. And the first stage will start to make its way back down to Earth for landing on our drone ship, while second stage continues its journey with the third event, SES-1, or Second Engine Start 1. This is where the MVAC engine will light up and begin to propel the second stage along with those Starlink satellites to orbit. And that main engine cutoff event is taking place in about 10 seconds. Great shot there of the vehicle prior to MECO.
Main engine cutoff.
Stage separation confirmed.
All right, all 3 of those events happening in quick succession prior to MVAC ignition there that you see. Caught a glimpse of, oh, and on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see the Space Coast illuminated by the night lights. That's an awesome shot. There as we see the grid fins beginning their deployment.
She's talking about the grid fins, right? Whoops. See the grid fins deploying right here? These? Well, those are huge, by the way. There goes the fairings. The fairings are like the bigger part on the top of the rocket. So here's this is straight out of the Bible. Daniel described all of these things that we just watched. All of them. So when it launched, what did we see it do? We saw it a bunch. Well, let's go back and watch it. Let's watch it. Because I want to show you guys this. This is This is why all these people that think that you have to interpret this, they're all wrong. They're all wrong. And it's not about being right or wrong. It's about listening to the prophets and hearing what they say and actually paying attention to what they say. If I told you, let's go right here. Okay, let's go right here. If this rocket was a beast, okay? If it was a beast, tell me if it's going to stamp the residue with the feet of it. If you were Daniel thousands of years ago and you've never seen anything like this, would you say it's stamping the residue with the feet of it? That's one thing that Daniel said. And then when we go up here, and I'm going to read you the verse after this, but then we get to this part right here, and this is stage separation, where it splits into two pieces, and the booster goes back down, and the second stage fires up, which is on the right side there, fires up and continues on, okay? Daniel said it broke in pieces. It broke in pieces and it stamped the residue with the feet of it. And then guess what else he said? He said it had great iron teeth. Look on the left side of your screen. I'm going to go to Daniel. I'm just using every chance I get. Now, here's another thing. Okay, see the fairings on the right side? Those are all the satellites right there. There's 60 of them. So I'm just going to give an example. I had Kingdom in Context Sean. It was in a chat. We were chatting back and forth, I don't know, a week ago or something. And I mentioned to him about SpaceX launching things up to New Jerusalem. And he said, well, that can't happen because New Jerusalem is in the third heaven and there's angels guarding it, so nobody can get in there. And I'm like, I sent him 3 verses that say specifically of New Jerusalem being trodden underfoot. That's what we're watching. So in Daniel said the fourth beast that he saw, and by the way, all the beasts that he saw, they were kings, not men. They just called them kings that shall arise out of the earth. So there you go. A rocket arises out of the earth. Okay? I don't care if you think a king has to be... basically what I'm saying is if it was a man or a group of men on the ground on the earth, then Daniel would have probably said something more like it was a group of men on the ground. Because Daniel's describing visually what he was shown in his vision. And in Daniel 7 verse 6, he said, 7 verse 7, he said, after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. It had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Well, 10 horns, I think that's probably just the 10 Dragon capsules that SpaceX built. The first 10, they built 10 of the cargo ship, and sent it up since 2012, I think, was maybe the first time. Let's see here. Let me do something. Actually, I'm going to make that small and refresh it. Oh, there it landed. So, do you see the booster landed, right? It lands on some drone ship or whatever. Now, Sean said to me, well, that's all just CGI. Len kind of laughs at it, there's nothing happening, that's just CGI. Well, Why would you say it's CGI? Oh, here's why. Here's why. Anybody that's in the chat right now that thinks that satellites are sataloons or that they're CGI, you haven't been looking up at the sky, have you? That's part of the problem. Remember when Jesus said your redemption draws near, look up? I think in the book of Luke, I think he said that. There's a reason why he said that. Because you should look up so that you have somewhat of a defense against the dragon. See, and I'm not trying to rip on Sean, I'm just using him for an example because he's a clear example of this. Sean doesn't understand that SpaceX is defiling God's tabernacle with a bunch of detestable abominations. And that's what we're watching right now, tonight. These satellites, let me pull up, or let me go on full screen again. Oh, I must have my quality set at 720 because it keeps going back to 720. I'm gonna pull up a video here if I get a minute, or if I was already showing you this video. This right here. This is what it looks like from the ground, what we just watched. Okay? This is what it looks like from the ground. I'm pretty sure that Sean has not seen this. Pretty sure he doesn't know that that's what it looks like from the ground. Let me grab a different video. Because if we are looking up at the sky, we'll also see, I've filmed them myself. Let me find the folder. Starlink satellites. Let's just play this one in the background. This is their 18th Starlink mission. So what's 18 times 6? So you'll see on the little screen I've got there, you'll see those little lights going over the whole sky. There's 60 of them. There's 18 strings of those in the sky right now, and they spread out with time. So what we end up getting, let me see if I got, maybe we can just go to YouTube and watch a video. I don't think I have one myself. Let me just skip through this video a little bit. Oh, here we can see a string of them right here. That's what's up in the sky. And yeah, SpaceX launches them up there. And yeah, that's in the Bible. Now, a guy like Kingdom in Context, he's studied up on his scripture. Probably more than most people. Actually, I know he is more than most people. But to be able to ignore the return of the fallen angels is just scary to me. But that's basically what's happening. Starlink satellites. So I didn't do the math. Let's see, 36 and 18 is at 54. So that would be 1,080 satellites they've got up there of just this specific one, this Starlink satellite. Do you think that God is going to allow this to continue? You know, there's a war happening in heaven between a dragon and then these 4 angels that are holding back the 4 winds. Or I don't really actually even know if the dragon is trying to get those angels to loose those four winds or how it's happening. But Michael and his angels are fighting with Satan and his angels. And this is the problem. Sean told me that in a chat recently. He said, I don't agree with your personal interpretation. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's not an interpretation. That's exactly not. Okay, do you guys want to hear John in Revelation describe the launch we just watched? So the rocket, you know how there was a stage separation. So there's 2 stages of the rocket. It's a 2-stage rocket, first and second stage. That's important to know. And then it has, this launch is Starlink, but typically it would have a Dragon capsule on the top of it. And in Revelation 13, verse 11, John sees something, and I want you to try to understand this, because this is, you don't have to interpret something. You just have to listen, and John describes this word for word. Let me see if I can, oh wait, what page do you guys got? Okay, good. I thought for a second there that I had the wrong page, and I hope this is working right. It almost seems like it's not. Let me see something here. What is going on? I don't know what's going on. So sorry guys, I don't mean to just stop in the middle of this, but my live streaming page, it says 31 minutes, and we've been live streaming for 36 minutes. But then it says that this video, it's saying that it's already an hour and a half long and 40 seconds. What in the world? That's weird. So I hope it's working. Let me just read these 3 verses. Actually, I'll just read 2 of them, because we have to understand the context of this and not forget what it says in verse 11 when we read verse 13. Okay, here's verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So he saw a beast going up out of the earth, and then he sees it coming back down, making fire come back down. In verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And people would say, well, that's any rocket launch, isn't it? Nope, it's only the Falcon 9. It's only this specific rocket that comes back down and lands using fire. And we didn't catch that on the stream, but let's see if we can find it here. It should be right about here. Okay. Their drone ship always cuts out, like, from the vibration of the rocket or something. Okay, so there's their drone ship, and the booster, the part that lifted it up there. See the fire? That's why you can see the light there. That's called fire. So you don't have to interpret anything. The word fire, it has a meaning, and it means fire. And there's fire right there on your screen. See the fire? It's a pretty bad image, but so there we go. It landed back on the earth. So it made fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. That's not an interpretation. That's just me saying, hey, look, John just described what we just watched. So the thing on your screen right now, that booster, that's called the Falcon 9 rocket. That's the 4th beast that Daniel saw, and that's the 2nd beast in Revelation 13 that John saw. And guess what else? It says he doeth these great wonders, and maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Well, what's the beast? Well, that's easy. Like, it's not me saying, oh, we can learn what the beast is I know what the beast. I'm not saying I don't have to say that I know what the beast is. John shows us and Daniel shows us what the beast is. Why is typically if there's a dragon, I don't know what's on the screen right now. If there's a SpaceX Dragon launch, what's it launching for? There's only one reason. Well, now there's two, but basically one reason. Where does the SpaceX Dragon capsule go? There's only one place that it goes. It goes to the space station. What for? To resupply it and to bring cargo to it so that it can continue flying in the sky. Without SpaceX Dragon, the ISS wouldn't be able to be up there. Okay? Well, in Revelation 13, he sees this beast come up out of the sea, and it had 10 horns. And it says, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So let me just show you. Let's do a little research. I'm done watching this stupid launch. Oops. I lost my, oh, there we are. Sorry guys, I'm like an amateur here. Okay, let's just do this. Because all they're going to do is they're just going to let the satellites go. The second stage will just let go of them and then they spread out on their own or whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, let's see here. We're going to do CRS missions. Let's just do a little NASA research on Wikipedia. What are the commercial resupply services? Okay, you see over here on the right side, this is the International Space Station. We've all seen this stupid image. Now, here's the part that I think it's hard for people to accept this once they say space is fake. This is not fake. It's not being faked. There aren't any men faking this. This is a tin can of junk that men have launched on rockets and think they understand something about heaven that they don't understand. Because they're not going into heaven. They're going into what? Darkness. They're going into a bottomless abyss of darkness. I don't care if it's in the sky. It has no end to it. Right? It's the abyss. So NASA and SpaceX, they think they're doing science, but they're actually exploring Sheol. Outer darkness. The darkness upon the face of the deep. Dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. God's secret place. They're defiling it. Okay? I think that's what I see here is the people that are thinking that there's some magic group of men that's fooling everybody in the world, deceiving the world. To think that is to be deceived, because Paul told us in Ephesians that that's not what it is. We're not struggling against flesh and blood. We're struggling against evil spirits in the heavens. Evil spirits in the sky. Cosmic powers of evil in the heavenly realm. So, I don't know why so many people deny all these things that are happening up there. But let's just look at what is this thing here? The space station, I mean. It's the only thing that men have made, especially with people on it, that is not on the Earth. Like there's satellites and the space station. Those are the only things that aren't in our world. You know what I'm saying? They're out of our world. So look at this. Commercial resupply services. are a series of flights awarded by NASA for the delivery of cargo and supplies to the International Space Station on commercially operated spacecraft. The first CRS contracts were signed in 2008 and awarded $1.6 billion to SpaceX for 12 Cargo Dragon and $1.9 billion to Orbital Sciences for 8 Cygnus flights, covering deliveries to 2016. The Falcon 9 and Antares rockets were also developed under the CRS program to deliver cargo spacecraft to the ISS. That's what SpaceX Dragon is for. This is literally the Dragon right here giving its power to the space station. And in the Bible, that's how it is too. The dragon gave the beast his power and his seat and great authority. And there's so many details about this beast. Not the dragon one. I'm talking about, oh wow, that's a really good picture. The space station, not the dragon capsule, not this horn, but the station that's soaring in the air of the underworld. That's in the Apocalypse of Abraham, I think. It's a curse, guys. And we were just born into a time when the technology has manifested here. And that's, yeah. So, there's the story. It's not an interpretation. It's an observation. And you're observing it with me. But what I want to do is keep this video short. And my chat's locked up, so I can't, it hasn't moved for a long time. So what I'm gonna do is thank you all for coming and listening to me talk about this again. So yeah, don't think that they are out to get you, or that they're following you, or they don't care about what you're doing, because there is no they. What destroys the world is men lifting a shout up against God, not against each other. So that's what we're watching here. That's what we watched tonight too, is Babylon's sins reaching up to heaven. So yeah, prepare for the sky, the darkness, to come down and consume the earth. That's what's going to happen. And I happen to know that darkness is actually on fire when it comes down. So I don't know all the details. But it's going to burn things. A lot of things. So oh, I see my chat just moved. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, take this seriously about what's happening in the sky. Look up every once in a while. You'll see this junk up there. And then, like, look at Ezekiel 7. God showed it to Ezekiel and told him he's not going to have any pity. And they're going to cry in his ears, but he's not going to listen. Because he's been long-suffering, you guys. He's been long-suffering for a long time to the men in the world that blaspheme his tabernacle. So, all right. Love you guys, and enjoy your night, and have a good one.